Hi, this is Dave from Hectors Smokehouse, and today I'm going to be cooking some beef cheeks. These are pasture-fed beef cheeks and come from Gippsland in Victoria in Australia. And I've got two beef cheeks that I'm going to cook on the Weber Kettle using slow and sear. So I'm going to use that as an indirect cooking area. I'm going to cook them around about 275 to 300 degrees F, 2 or 3 hours just directly on the indirect side, And then what I'm going to do then is, once I get to about 165, I'm going to put them into a foil tray, add some Pedro Ximenez, which is a sweet sherry, and then I'm going to carry on cooking them and braising them in there, but also going to put some foil over the top of the pan so that they actually steam. Should take maybe up to 4 to 6 hours to cook these, but they want to get to the point where they're absolutely tender and the probe of the thermopen goes straight into the meat. So this should be a really tasty dish. So I'll go through the steps of trimming the meat and trimming the beef cheeks. I'll show you the rub that I've used, and then I'll show you and put it going onto the grill. So if you enjoy the video, please click like, and if you like the channel, please subscribe to the channel. So this recipe is going to go into cooking beef cheeks. These beef cheeks are from Gippsland in Victoria, grass-fed. So there's a couple of those in there that we're going to trim up, and I'll show you how to trim them. I'm going to use a rub on them, which is a rub called Just Add Beef by Mad Hunky. He's across in, I think, Michigan, across in the USA. So we're going to use some of that on them. And we're going to cook on the Weber Kettle around about 275 to 300. And we'll get them to around about 160 internal temperature, and then we'll transfer them off the grill themselves, even though they're cooking indirect on the slow and sear. We'll transfer them across and we'll put them into a foil pan, and in the foil pan we're going to add some liquid. In this case it's going to be some Pedro Ximenez sherry, which is a sweet Spanish sherry, and we'll add that in there and we'll actually cook them and cover them over until they get to the point where they're falling apart. So what I'll do now is I'll go through trimming up these beef cheeks and show you what happens in that process. So beef cheeks are perfect for doing low and slow. It's one of those cuts of meat that's not very tender, coming straight off the animal. Because it's been used a lot, there's a lot of obviously motion in the chewing, and they're used for the chewing, so the meat becomes quite tough. But when you do it low and slow, it all starts to fall apart, so this is perfect for low and slow cooking. Now when you get these, they've got a lot of sinew, and yeah, so you can see all of this sinew on there, and you want to be able to trim as much off of this as you can and make them look pretty nice. So there's only 2 cheeks in here, but yeah, you can see some of this, the sinew and the silver skin that's on these. We just need to try and trim some of this off and make them look a little bit tidier. So there we go, that one's trimmed up reasonably well, and that'll be fine for cooking. We're going to be cooking indirect on the Weber Kettle using a slow and sear. And we've got Kingsford charcoal in there, and we've also have a water reservoir that protects the indirect area from the direct heat. So we're going to be cooking the beef cheeks on the indirect area, and then part way through the cook at 165F, we're going to be transferring them into a foil pan and adding some liquid. In this case it's going to be some Pedro Ximenez sherry. The beef cheeks have been on for now 2.5 hours, and ranged, you can see, sort of 275 to 300 most of the way through the cook. I've been checking the temperature, and I've been using an Inkbird, Inkbird 4XS, to check the temperature of the pit, but also the temperature of the beef cheeks. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the beef cheeks and see where we are. You can see 162, 163. And around about the same on the other one as well. So they're about ready now to actually come off the grill. So I'll quickly pull that out. And what we'll do is take these off now, and we'll actually add some of the Pedro Ximenez sauce and then put them back on again. So I'll show you what they look like with the Pedro Ximenez. So as you can see, we've now got the beef cheeks into the foil pan, and what we're going to use is some of this Pedro Ximenez and put that in the bottom of there. And what we want is we want this to sort of thicken up, so I'm putting quite a bit in there, and hopefully that'll start to reduce. And even if it doesn't, to be honest, at the end what I'm going to do is probably put it on a pan or over the grill and reduce it a little bit more, and because it's a really beautiful thick sauce. You can do this really well if you want to with like cauliflower mash. Tastes fantastic on top of cauliflower mash with that gravy and the beef cheeks that fall apart. So we'll also take a probe. We'll put one of the probes in. So we've got the probe in there, and then we're going to cover this over. With some foil. And what that'll do is it'll allow the meat to steam. So you're going to get all of those flavours from the Pedro Ximenez, and the whole thing will start to actually steam and should be pretty delicious. So we'll put that in there. I've got the temperature. I'm going to check it again when it gets to about 200 F, somewhere around there. And once it's at 200 F, I'll come and check it, but then it's really about feel and making sure that it feels right. So I'm expecting, we've been on for about 2.5 hours, I'm expecting probably at least another 2 to 4 hours. So we'll see how it goes. So this is the Inkbird. This is the Inkbird 4S. So this takes 4 probes and is rechargeable. So perfect for measuring the temperature of the pit, and also perfect for measuring the temperature of the beef cheek. Now I've got that connected to my iPad and iPhone, so I can actually monitor the temperatures, and it sends me warnings when it gets up to temperature. So we're just coming up to 6 hours now, so slightly off 6 hours, about 5 hours 45, with the first 2.5 hours just on the grill, and then the rest of it being wrapped. So here we go, we can have a look, see what this looks like. I just had to put a few more coals into the slow and sear to keep it going. It started to sort of cool down, but I've been running at nearly 300. So there you go, you can see. Oh yeah, there. Oh wow. They're really nice and tender now. So they should be beautiful. So what I'll do now is I'll show you breaking these down and show you what they actually look like. Let's have a look at these beef cheeks then. So see if they start to fall apart, and you can see they're incredibly tender and moist. What we're going to do with these is we're actually going to put them into some tacos, but I'm just trying to see what this tastes like to start with. Oh wow, that's delicious, and the Pedro Ximenez is absolutely fantastic. That tastes wonderful. But yeah, you can see these break apart really nice and easily and just pull apart. So that's around about 6 hours. So I'm really happy with those. And I'll show you the photographs in a minute as we actually put these into tacos. And we're just going to do them in tacos with some sour cream, some guacamole, some salsa. And obviously what I want is for these to be left in this Pedro Ximenez, so they actually take on the Pedro Ximenez as well, which should be wonderful. And this should just taste fantastic. So I'll come back and show you what this looks like in a few minutes. So here we are. This is the taco with the beef cheek in, which looks pretty awesome, I think. So there you go. So I'll have a quick taste of that and see what it's like, but it looks delicious. Well, there you have it. The beef cheek came out really well. The Pedro Ximenez tasted delicious. Quite sweet, fruity flavour, which is beautiful with the beef cheek. So that took about 6 hours. Just added some salsa, some guacamole, and some sour cream into there, and made it into a delicious taco. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click like and please subscribe to the channel, and hope you have a go at trying to make these beef cheeks, because they're absolutely delicious. See you again soon.